Hey, it's Kristen, and I am a somatic experience practitioner from Venice Beach, and my space is all about body-based reflection, somatic healing, and sensual reclamation. And today we have our late night love reading. It's back, and we focus on love, intimacy, and our emotional truth. So we're going to be looking at your energy, the energy of someone that you're feeling into, and the space in between. So let's take a deep breath together. And let's begin. So your energy, 5 of Cups in reverse and the Hermit. So something has happened, something that felt disappointing, something that left you feeling like there were no choices, there were no options, that you couldn't continue on, that you can't continue on. And that has put you in a place of personal reflection, of wanting to go into a more internal space and really take a look at patterns and cycles. And that's what, readings like this for me are all about. It's looking at the energetic patterns and cycles of us as individuals, of the collective. I think it's very comforting through a collective reading to feel into that we're not alone, that there are other people experiencing, that even though it's very individual and personal to you, it's your personal revolution, that there are others that understand and are going through the same thing. And we get the clarity here from really listening to the wisdom of the body and how the body feels moment to moment every day in our lives, but particularly in the relational space, and very particularly in the romantic, intimate relational space. And it's okay to slow down, to take a moment to be on your own. Even if you're in relationship currently with someone, perhaps you need some space and you need to reconnect with your sense of fate and destiny, like what has happened to you, fate, something that you can't control, things that are happening that are meant to be on your path, and that destiny place of where you can meet that and create and manifest what you're looking for as you move forward. And that's a very beautiful thing. So it's taking this lesson of this disappointment, of these things that maybe make you feel angry. I mean, have you acknowledged that maybe these things make you feel angry? Because I think often we bypass that in personal growth settings. And of course, we want to acknowledge the lessons and where we're expanding into. But it's also okay to acknowledge where, BS happened and someone pissed you off. And to give that to yourself as part of your process and experience. And it doesn't mean walking around in anger. It's perhaps just the self-acceptance of what the event or what the person made you feel past, whether it's happening now. So let's look a little into the other energy. What's up with that other energy? So this other energy is coming in as the Empress. So I think that this person saw you as a very vital person, as somebody who really embodied that feminine energy of being able to receive, like you are ready to receive and be in the sensual space and acknowledge your sensuality and and certainly in physical intimacy, but also in how you're moving through life and how you're creating and how you're utilizing, what you enjoy, how you enjoy walking through the world. And perhaps there was this sense of everything felt very exciting around you, where, even the food tastes better, smells were more vibrant. Perhaps there was an experience with touch and intimacy and physical intimacy, that was something that they had not experienced before. But it could also have thrown them into a place of, I might lose this, or thrown them into a place of, this can't last, or, I'm still going to think about experiences from the past that were traumatic or disappointing or made me angry. I can't quite come into the cycle of, we can just be in this place together. This other person perhaps was struggling with how to be in their feminine energy of just lying back and receiving. That it was okay to receive this from you. And perhaps it forced them into a place of pause and reflection that brought them to coming into the disappointments, their own disappointments, and instead of being able to work through it together in this way that is very productive and meaningful, where you both could really sink into the deep sensuality of being with each other. And by sensuality, it's again that everyday enjoyment, that everyday finding the beauty in the little routines of enjoying life, and being in a place of pleasure, and being able to come back to this place of pleasure and work through, whatever emotional stuff comes up. So what's the space in between? What's the space in between, you guys? Because they still see you as this. They're seeing you as this now, regardless of whether you're on pause with them, whether you're with them, whether you were with them. Actually, let's get a little bit more clarity on this before I go into the space in between on the Empress. So they completely slowed down. It's like, it felt like there was this offering of something that was very grounded and steady. Like it felt like with them, this could be a very grounded place that could really like turn into something, really manifest something that would be very, beneficial and long-term. There might have been something about just your power but not, not this aggressive, like, power hungry power. I mean, the power that you have to work on yourself, to be real with yourself, to be able to express your needs, wants, and desires, which can be very enticing and very inspiring. But there was something that made this person, it made them feel, bad about themselves. And they kind of dropped this mode where they made you feel protected. This knight in the upright is slow and steady wins the race. It's looking at the long-term picture, because it wants to be grounded. It wants something that's going to stand the test of time. But then there was this upset, this like, is this just going to be another letdown? So the space in between. And you very much could have been like, okay, I need to pause because I want to make sure before I make any moves forward, I want to reevaluate what I want based on who I am right now. By looking at my own stuff, my own places where, in the past, I maybe didn't make the choice that was best for me. I felt like I had to overcompromise, or I felt like I had to stay with something, or because I really loved someone and cared about them, I felt like, I had to make it work. And it's like, do I want to do that again? Or do I want to take this moment? And it's not that if this is a partnership happening right now, that it necessarily is going to go away. It's just really being honest with yourself and really asking them to be honest with themselves, and then being honest with each other. This one card fell out, so I'm going to take it as a clarifier. Okay. So we have the Ten of Swords with the Three of Swords. This is definitely wanting to, emotionally heal and end a cycle. that you no longer want to be in. As a matter of fact, you're out of this cycle and you already are in the place of emotional healing. Perhaps something is in the process of ending or just ended because emotionally it wasn't feeling sustainable for you. It could have been painful emotionally and physically. So I want to ask you, how is your body really feeling around this person? Do you get aches and pains? Do you get headaches? Do you feel dehydrated all the time? Do you feel like your energy is drained? Do you feel like you're using all your life force energy to continue to make this work? And then there's nothing left for you at the end of the day. Let's keep going. A little bit more about you. What's going down your path? So it's creating something with yourself. Something you want to be seen and heard. And you want to be with someone that is not afraid of what you're trying to present to the world, what you're trying to create in the world. And as a matter of fact, you want to create with this person. So maybe you have a business, or maybe there's some sort of project or plan or thing that you really want to do. And there's something, that this person, they feel inadequate. And maybe you look at them and you don't think that they're inadequate at all, but there's something around inadequacy. And whatever you're planning to do or whatever you have done that is going, front facing out into the world, public facing into the world, this idea even that you have, it kind of scares them because of how potent it is. So running back over to their side. So they may have, taken a step back or gone quiet, or emotionally they may have turned off in some way, or they could have expressed a kind of passive aggressiveness that could have put you into a place of overthinking where you couldn't really feel into your body, or you were ignoring your body, you were ignoring your heart because the brain was trying to figure out, what does this story mean? When the story means nothing, when you feel physically drained, when you are having a difficult time moving through life because of the other energy, the other person in your life. And especially since you have already left this old cycle. So if you're kind of wandering around in it, looping back through it, it's really just the last bits of you perhaps even grieving, spending time, with this person and what you learned from them and what you got from them and what was really fantastic about the relationship, and what you learned that you want to take into the next relationship that you'll be moving into when you're ready for that. Because I just think it's important to always acknowledge, a lot of times you think, well, I'm leaving a cycle, and I really think you've already left a cycle. You're just integrating, what does the new me feel like in this place that I have evolved in through all this time and effort and work, and really looking at my stuff and going into the shadow work and all the things that we do, talking to my therapist, talking to to my friends that are on the same vibe and aligned with me, getting together with girlfriends and other really intelligent women that are embodied and have also been through experiences, and you begin to support and help each other. And I think that you might have gotten some perspectives from a friend or a group of friends or some trusted advisor that they can see and they can feel what you're going through emotionally around this person. So it's almost like you were it was like that evidence. It's like, oh wow, it's not, I can't just hide it within myself and kind of repress it in and internalize it. You can't internalize it too much, right? Because going within is great and recognizing it for ourselves, but then to be able to come out of hiding and speak about it with other people. So if you haven't, come out of the internal place yet and spoken to someone. Maybe find somebody who's trusted and tell them what's going on. And I really think that you might get some perspectives that, will be very supportive. And other people sharing what they've been through in similar situation is also extremely important and very valid. Finding your partners in crime when it comes to trusting your embodied knowing and your body wisdom, and that gut intuition, that place where the heart intelligence knows. And one more in the space in between. What's hidden? What wants to be revealed? So it's a disrupted partnership. After the reevaluation, it's not wanting to constantly defend yourself to that person, but also to yourself. It's you can stop trying to validate yourself on the reasons why this doesn't work. It's like telling yourself the list of things. This is how this person makes me feel. This is how it's not working. This is how I'm trying, and it's it seems stuck all the time. Stop trying to validate to yourself that there's some very real things happening within this relationship that aren't working for you anymore, and you don't want to have to defend yourself to someone else around what you're trying to create. You don't want your own agency, your own ability to manifest, your ability to present, to want to move forward, to want to play big and be bold. You don't want that to make somebody else feel smaller. So what's the integration? What's the medicine here? What's the medicine? How do we put this together and bring it into wholeness? Unprocessed. So whatever hasn't been processed yet, give yourself the time and the space. Find the aligned support in friends, in family, in counselors, in therapists, in whatever that is, a supportive group. And don't connect with the dead. I wanted to get clarity on unprocessed. So some of you out there have someone who's passed who is also trying to give you advice. And if this is for you, you'll know who I'm talking about immediately. There's someone that used to give you advice on romance, love, relationship who's passed on. It doesn't have to be family. It could be a friend, an old teacher, somebody that you want to tap back into all the things that they used to comment on. And I'm getting that, they used to kind of be very direct, very funny, very generous, very down to earth, practical wisdom. There's someone that, who's passed through the veil and on the other side that really wants to remind you about how you're feeling in the body, and if there's a depressive, anxious place, and they might even be pointing out to a past relationship, like, remember when you were with that person and that's how you felt, and do you want to feel like that again? So that's processing that. And I think it's also, taking the time to reflect back on what we've learned from other relationships, how you've grown, You know, what needs to come up and out and be seen? How do you need to be seen? So, you know, whether this connection is in the process right now, whether it's something that, you know, you want to continue to try to grow, it's important that you don't have this unprocessed stuff with this person, because this reading isn't about this has to be a breakup. It's what's not processed, what needs to be looked at. Are they willing to look at it in a way that is meaningful and productive and kind to everyone involved? So what matters the most is how you hold yourself through this, and the support that you allow to give yourself and you allow others to give you. So you're allowed to want, you're allowed to long for your desires, and you're also allowed to always choose peace. You always have choice. So you might want to say the affirmation, I am home, and I am the home that I come back to. I am the home that I come back to. I don't wait to be met. I meet myself first. I am the home that I come back to. I don't wait to be met. I meet myself first. You are beautiful, and I appreciate you for being here. I can't wait to see you again. If you're resonating, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. It's something that you can do if you appreciate the reading. And if, of course, please subscribe. I would love to connect with you more. I want to build this community where we can all support each other. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.